I'd like to do Senate Bill 325.
Chair brings up Senate Bill
825.
825 been called on its author.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members, the purpose of Senate Bill 825 is to amend the State Bar disciplinary rules on violations of the prosecutor's disclosure rules, the Brady violations, establishing that they start to toll on the release from prison of a wrongfully convicted person. It changes the current statute of limitation, which begins to toll at the time a violation is discovered, or should have been discovered, with a 4-year statute of limitation. It maintains the 4-year statute of limitation and simply changes that they begin to toll on the release from prison of the wrongfully convicted individual. It provides an opportunity for the wrongfully convicted person to pursue their grievance after being released from prison and provides an enhanced fairness to the proceeding. Also, it mandates that if the grievance process results in a sustained finding, then a mandatory public reprimand must be issued. This enhances open government, provides for public knowledge of the reprimand, and enhances public confidence in the process. While this bill does not by itself end wrongful conviction, it represents a large step in addressing the observed barriers to seeking and pursuing accountability and justice for the wrongfully convicted individual.
Any questions of the author? Okay, we'll open.
I would like to call Madam Chair Michael Morton.
Please do so, sir. Come on up, Mr. Morton.
You state your name and who you represent, please.
My name is Michael Morton, and I'll be representing myself.
Could I first say, Mr. Morton, that on behalf of this committee, myself, probably can't say anything to you that hadn't been said to you by others, but let me simply say that we are sorry for your experience, that the system failed you, and we thank you for being here to try to correct some wrongs as we go forward. And I would like to, as Chairman of Criminal Justice, publicly ask you to work with our committee going forward. I would like to visit with you at the appropriate time of your choice to help me improve the criminal justice system. Your credibility, your calm, your amazing grace and calm in the middle of the storm would allow you to tell me what I can do to improve particularly the prison system. We get about 300 letters a month from inmates or their families, and we read them, follow up on them, but if you would make yourself available to point me in the right direction, that those individuals that are incarcerated would get the health care that they deserve, would not be assaulted, raped, and the other conditions that I read about in letters. So I would welcome the opportunity to visit with you. You could be a great assistance to the public, and certainly we have 151,000 inmates incarcerated this afternoon. That's 1.5 Waco, Texas, at 111 locations. And I think it's our duty to try to do the right thing by them, their families, and particularly those correction officers that work in that environment. You could, I urge you to partner up with me and this committee and the legislature to improve the system.
Thank you, sir. I would be honored. We'll do that, as you say, at the appropriate time.
Thank you. And thanks for being here today in support of this legislation.
Thank you, sir.
The floor is yours.
My name is Michael Morton, and I spent 24 years and 7 months, as many of you know, in TDCJ for something I did not do, which was kill my wife. Thank you, Senator Whitmire, for asking me here, and members. Senate Bill 825 is rather important. It's not going to stop all the abuses. It probably would not have stopped what happened to me, but it is a definite step in the right direction, and it is a worthy bill. I will be very brief. I'm not going to sit here and waste your time. I don't want, nor do I think anybody else does, a revolution of the system. I don't want to upend it. I don't want to clear the decks and start fresh. What we have is pretty good. I just think some targeted tweaks would go a long, long way. Oftentimes, the left government we have the better off it is. I think why some of the Texas founders were wise enough to have you guys meet only sporadically. Having said that, prosecutorial misconduct is not a huge, widespread pandemic. Most of the prosecutors are good guys. They're doing the good work that needs to be done. They're representing all of us. But it happens. There are some bad apples out there, some good guys who get corrupted, or for whatever reason, they really affect the citizens of Texas. And when they step over the line, when they cut corners or break the law, or however you want to phrase it, our most fundamental, basic liberties are taken by the very government officials who are entrusted to protect us, protect those liberties and protect us ourselves. And that in itself is a crime, not just of law, but of morality. In my particular case, the prosecutor who's responsible for my incarceration says that he shouldn't be held accountable because the statute of limitations has expired. That's kind of tough to hear, but as legislators, I ask you to think about this like you would a kidnapping. If somebody was kidnapped for, say, 20-something years, and the person either escaped or they were discovered and freed, well, the statute of limitations, if it were only like 5 years, wouldn't start and stop at the beginning of the kidnapping. It would begin, if it was done right, when it's discovered at the end, which would be, as the senator says, when the man or woman is released from the penitentiary. That may be an extreme example, but I think it serves well to make the point, and which is basically what we're looking at here. And I'm asking you to please pass Senate Bill 825. There's nothing you can do that will allow me to get back my 25 years. It's gone, and there's really nothing I can do about it, nothing you can do about it. And I wanted you to be very clear that I am not seeking revenge. I don't want something bad to happen to the prosecutors just because they were bad prosecutors. But what I am seeking, and I'm asking you to help me obtain, is some transparency and most of all some accountability. We should all be accountable for our actions. So what I'm asking you to do is not make it better for me, but to act in your own self-interest. Act for yourselves. Don't let what happened to me happen to you or any of your constituents. Please pass this bill. I thank you.
Very good.
Thank you, Mr. Morton.
You're a remarkable human being to be as rational as you are and fair. And,
thank you, sir. That's kind.
And you can be a role model for all of us. I'm certain those lonely nights in prison, you never thought, someday I'm going to be a role model for a bunch of senators on how they ought to deal with issues. But you are. Would you like to introduce your new wife?
Yes, after so long out,
you're so calm and reasonable. I mean, I just don't know many. You know, we get upset around here because somebody messes with one of our bills. And somebody messed with your life. And we really can learn from your...
I had time to get over it. But I would like you to meet...
you need to get aggravated someday. You need to get a little Whitmire in your blood. Somebody act like somebody messed with your bill. Somebody knocked your bill off the local counter, which means you got to start over and take it to the full floor.
I hate when that happens. But I would like you to meet my new wife. Last Saturday I married Cynthia.
That's wonderful. Thank you very much. Great, yeah. Any questions?
Any questions, Mr. Morton?
If not, thank you so much for being here. We look forward to visiting with you. I understand you're going to be on the Senate floor tomorrow, so that'll be a great occasion too. And if you won't go too far, we're going to kick this bill out of committee in a minute.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Morton.